back to school for so many pupils up and down the country today, but not at the school that you're at.
That's right. Well, at this school, it's just one of many that we heard in that announcement last week. Many parents would have undoubtedly been preparing for their children to come back to school following almost 6 weeks off during the summer. And of course, this now means they have to try and find alternative plans. But of course, the schools are working hard to ensure that the children don't miss out on their education. This school here in Honywood in Essex, Honywood School, should I say, in Essex, is just one of those which has been affected. Fortunately, we are kindly joined by the head teacher this morning. Thank you so much for your time, James. It's been one of those things, not something you'd expect a few days before school. What was it like when you first heard about this issue following the surveys?
Well, it was quite last minute. We were informed on Thursday afternoon. I was at home at the time, so I quickly contacted some of the leadership team and said, "We've got a bit of a problem here. Can you get in the morning?" And yeah, they were all pretty shocked actually when I first informed them. But actually, we've spent Friday putting a plan together. We've still got a lot of work to do, but the priority was to get some information out to our families as soon as possible, which we have done.
So what is the scale of the issue, particularly at your school at the moment?
So 22 of our classrooms are affected, which are all in our main block. So it's 2 main corridors and 22 additional office spaces and other rooms. That equates to about half of the school. So there's no way we can get all the children into the school without doing something and finding alternative accommodation.
We've heard about the cost of this. Has there been any indication of how much this will cost, and what facilities will you need temporarily at the moment as well?
Well, I don't know how much it's going to cost in the long term, but I have met with both our trust and our DFE caseworker and have been assured that it'll all be paid for. So we've set up the mechanisms to basically go and do whatever we need to do and then recoup the cost afterwards. The main thing that we're going to need is some form of teaching space. What we really want is something on site. We don't really want to be busing children to other places because we just don't think that that's going to work as effectively and not keep them as part of our community. So we need 22 classrooms basically to get the school up and running.
And for parents, of course, what are some of the concerns that they've had? Undoubtedly, they would have needed to go back to work, sorting out logistics and things like that. So what are you doing to kind of reassure them in this? And say you're putting things in place as well to ensure that their children can still get their education.
Yeah, I mean, no solution is going to be perfect at the moment that we've got. We've put out one communication to families on Friday, quite detailed, and we got quite positive response from that. I think the key worry for them is that if you've got children at particular points, say they're doing exams or they've just got here, or they were the children that were affected the most by the pandemic, the worry is, oh, there's another thing that's going to hit them and disrupt their education. And it's going to be a balancing act for us in terms of trying to manage getting as many children into the building as possible, but also making that done as equitably as possible.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Well, as you heard from him, this is something that they're having to work around, working with staff, working with those who work with the school, and ensuring that parents understand what they can do to help their children during this time. And of course, but it's an unwelcomed message for many parents, but something they're going to have to work around in the next few days and weeks.